So Thomas Brown, what's going on?
What's up, man? I'm actually the one that was the jet setter journalist. I should have put that name in there.
Oh, I
What's
appreciate
good?
the donations as well, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, for sure. I got to support y'all. What's good, man?
Where are you calling from?
I'm in Brazil right now. I'm in Sao Paulo. That's why I was saying I have to go in a little bit because man, bro. I thought I like to party. I don't touch these guys, man. I don't know if you guys can see this. Well, let me flip the thing around. This is out my window.
Wow.
They built that whole thing 2 days ago. They started it last night and they went till 8 a.m. And it sounded like the subwoofer was in my apartment. I was like, God dang. They went hard.
Really?
Oh, yeah, they go hard. Every time I go out here, they got something. Samba on one corner, rock and roll on the other corner. They was doing like Aretha Franklin on this rooftop over here. I was like, damn, they go hard out here.
What neighborhood are you in Sao Paulo?
Uh, the building I'm in is called Sampa Sky. I wouldn't necessarily suggest it. Like this little apartment I'm in is dope, but I think the guy that lived here had some money because downstairs when you walk out, it's not really where I would want to be. 10 minutes that way in like Jiaxing, that's where I'd probably rather be.
So you think it's a dangerous neighborhood where you're at? Is what you're saying?
I I don't know. No one's really messed with me, but it seems like every time I go out, because they're so friendly here, like they're so friendly that then when they hang out with you and you go to leave, they're always like, put your phone away, because we all got iPhones and all that stuff. And then they're like, if someone talks to you, just say un poco Portuguese, English, and just don't talk to them. That's what they tell me to do, but I haven't had that. I travel. I've been traveling full time I've been traveling for 12 years, full time for about 2. So I've been here 2.5 months and I ain't had any issues.
Okay, so how is your dating experience in Sao Paulo?
You know what? This is why I wanted to get on. I honestly want to kind of humanize it for the guys a little bit. I'm not a supermodel. I do think like what B Dub was saying about the way you carry yourself. I think that's huge because it seems like women got like these military grade body language readers. They know. They know if you got it together or not, whether you speak or not. And the reason I say that is because I'm not really a hunter. I like to fish. I like to check them out, make the decision. And I notice they always come to me and they always are like looking at you across the room. So they see something. They see something in the way you carry yourself. Now, is that because of like prosperity and stuff? I don't know. I mean, I do extremely well. I left the States and I was the demographic that they wanted. But that's kind of what made me want to leave the States because I thought I am what you want, and I don't. As I'm attracting you, I don't want you, and I don't want to sound rude like that, but I realized I was like, yo, you just want the assets, you just want what comes with me. I don't think you care or know who I am. So maybe me knowing that I came from a comfortable place like that, I might carry myself a little bit different, but I don't think I feel like every girl I've met here, and this has been the hardest place because I know Portuguese is not easy. It is not easy. Um, so it's been a little harder for me to talk to them. But every date I've been on, they approached me, every single one.
That's
But
Brazil.
yes,
That's
but
Brazil.
it starts with how kind they are. Like I love shisha, so I went over to this neighborhood where there's like an alley and they have shisha and like the lanches, is that what it's called? Like the burger places, all these
Yeah.
things. They're just sitting in this alley, and I was smoking some shisha. And here every place plays music. It's just like every single place. So I was just smoking by myself, and these two girls looked at me, and they could tell I was American. So they struggled, but they said, "Are you smoking by yourself?" I said, "Yes," and they were like, "Oh, come sit with us." Like my friends asked me if I was lonely here, and I'm like, no way. Anytime I go out, I end up meeting someone. Next thing we know, we're samba. Next thing we know, we're on the rooftop. This is the friendliest place I have ever been. And I started in Belém do Pará, and they were even friendlier there. I love this place. I love these people.
So if you well, let me ask you this: what kind of work do you do?
I own apps. I own membership apps. So people pay monthly to be on our community apps, and I partner with other people. Like our newest one is Moto Social, and it partnered with this $1 million Harley slash Ducati brand, and we're building a whole network for motorcycle people.
Okay. Okay. Let me read one of these. Get. Uh, yeah, we're not worried about that comment. If you guys got a comment, leave a $5 super chat or more. I had to read that one though. So, what cities around Brazil have you traveled to?
I mean, I've been to Rio. I've obviously been to Rio. I was gonna do Fortaleza. I did Belém de Para. That was, I don't know if you know the history on it. That used to be the rich city here until rubber trade died, and then it became like a poor city. And I'm not gonna lie, when I got there, I thought, "What am I doing?" Because I travel a lot like B Dub. I go to Qatar. I stay in these stupid suites and all that stuff. But I've watched a little bit of you, and you kind of took the same evolution that I did. After a while, you wanted to see what the locals were about. You wanted to kind of dig into the countries. So I was like, let me go. And let me tell you, man, it changed uh, between here and Thailand. That's why I was struggling with what he was saying about Thailand. Between here and Thailand, the people made me love the place. So even though I'm in this part of the town, I would take this to have the people over my fancy suites in Barcelona and Qatar, to have people that are standoffish. I would rather have the warmth. I'd rather have that, me personally. And so now I'm trying to find this blend, saying, okay, can I have a little bit of a nicer city, but I want that Brazilian soul or that Thailand soul? You know what I mean?
So, you think the people in Qatar are not as warm, which I wouldn't expect them to be?
Um, okay. The part with Qatar, if you've ever been there, it is mind blowing. I mean, I stay at the Mondrian Doha all the time, and if you look up that hotel, it's ridiculous what's in there. And they always upgrade me to this suite. So I mean, us being American, we think that's all that. But I feel that Qatar is a quick way. If you think you have money, like I did some huge deals in the States, and I kind of thought I was the man till I went to Qatar. And when you're smoking in a private cigar lounge and five billionaires walk in there, you realize real quick this is a different level. You know what I mean? Real quick. But they're not going to talk to you. If you talk to them, they might talk to you, but they don't talk to you. I don't think they're rude. It's just you're not them. It's just kind of how they see it. Also, I don't know if people know, in the GCC, all of that, those women will not step out, because the laws of the GCC, if those women hook up with you, they lose the birthright money for their children. And these guys are billionaires. They're never going to do that. I don't care how fly you think you are. They're not losing hundreds of millions of dollars. That's the law there. Then that
Wow.
GCC is Dubai, Qatar, all of that area. So it's pointless. It's pointless. But I mean, the couple girls I know there, they're not from there. There's a Moroccan girl that works at that hospital, and then I met at that hotel, and then I met some African girl there. But also, girls that go there, they really looking for that paper, bro, because it's
I was
heavy
about to
over
say
there.
that. It's like African women. When you brought up African, it's like African women and European women that not go to Thailand or go to Asia. When they go live there, it's just a pay for play thing. It seems like.
Yeah, somewhat. I just think if you're going and looking for something, with just the way the culture is there, it's probably not going to happen. I mean, even if it was me and I was a girl, and they were like, "You're going to lose $100 million to your family name if you marry outside of the Emiratis," I'm probably not doing it. Do you know what I mean? I'm probably not doing it. So that's just how they run things there. But I mean, I've been to all those heavy places, man. All those places he's talked about, and they're beautiful. But I like the connection, man. I think Brazil and Thailand, they connect with you the best of everywhere I've been, even though they're not the most richest looking places. But that's how I feel.
Okay, so where else do you want to travel in the future? Where else do you think would be a perfect fit like Brazil?
Well, I'm gonna go to Albania because he was talking about that. Albania is like the little trick place to deal with that Shenzhen 180 rule. And what that really means is you can't stay more than 180 days in one year in any Shenzhen country. You have to go for 90 and leave for 90, but then you can come back for 90 and you got to leave for another 90. Unless you get, like, now I know Spain has this amazing digital nomad. If you guys want to know, they have a digital nomad visa that gives you 3 years, and you only have to prove $2,500 a month. That's all you got to prove. You got to show them, and then you pretty much get it in 20 days. But what's that?
In
No,
Albania.
that's in Spain.
Okay.
Yeah, that's in Spain. No, Albania. The reason I chose Albania is because I do kind of like chill travel. I stay a minimum of 30 days everywhere. So I do 30 days to 90 days. And I'm just getting tired of having to move because of the visa. I kind of want to leave when I want to leave. So Albania gives Americans 12 months out the gate. And that is perfect for me. And it's like a European country. My picture is whenever I find that girl, I would like to travel through Europe for vacationing, because Greece, like Athens, is super underrated. If you've ever been there, Athens is fire. And then you could do London, Paris, all that stuff. And the way that the whole Europe thing works, you get flights for $70, $80 to all these places. That's the life I kind of want. And if you ever looked up, there's a Instagram page for all you guys. Look up Albanian. They are ridiculous. I probably shouldn't have told you that. They're bad, like way bad.
I've seen that. So Judicial 2000 said $5 on Super Chat. Doha, Qatar is definitely a different animal, but had a lot of fun with the Philippines there and ended up marrying my wife there and 2 kids later.
Yeah. Yeah, all that Southeast Asia is beautiful, man. The people are just beautiful. And they work. I like that they work. They don't complain about working. What this stream is about, certain types of individuals, they don't want to act right. You never run into that in Southeast Asia. Nowhere.
Well, I will say in Thailand you will run into it. But
what
I know
do you
where
mean from the culture? Well, okay, a little bit of Thailand. What I've come to learn when I was being there, I know some working girls. I didn't know they were working girls. When I found out that they were working girls, I had a lot of questions. I mean, how do you not ask questions? I had a lot of questions. I haven't met one that really wants to do it. I think that they don't have a choice. And that's sad, you know what I mean? But I think that they don't really have a choice. Their governments aren't like America. That's why you see a lot of people trying to get into America. We can make money doing anything. I mean, I literally own apps and I just do whatever I want to do. You can't necessarily do that stuff in other countries. So it's kind of sad, But I have a little more history because my mother's from Thailand. And she told me when she grew up, she used to have to cut wheat with one of those Grim Reaper sickle things. And she made like 20 cents a day. Like, come on, bro. That's rough.
In Thailand?
Yeah, but my mom's 70. So that was a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But even right now, we have one family that's pretty poor. And they don't think they are, which is kind of beautiful. They don't think they are because they haven't lived like us. But we take care of them. We pay their bills and stuff.
Okay, so you're half Thai.
I'm half Thai, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, my mom. If I smile hard enough, you can see it. My little epicantic fold gets a little small. You can see it if I smile hard enough.
You look like a regular Black American. You don't look Thai.
I know. But I mean, when I went there, I really knew I was Thai because I could see, like the hotel. I went to a hotel that I didn't realize I was the only person staying in the hotel because they had just built it. But I saw a bunch of people in there, but I knew they weren't staying. I was like, that's family. So I know I'm Thai because I seen it. I could see it when I'm there. I fit in really well with the culture. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, so the reason I really wanted to get on here is I'm pretty well traveled. And I noticed you asked really good questions. So I was going to say, hey, hit me with some stuff. I've been all over the world. Doesn't really come to my head unless someone asks me.
I appreciate it. So best place for a wife.
Oh God.
Let me ask you this first. Is Brazil a place to find a wife?
I believe so. Okay. So the thing that I should tell you about Brazil that led me to this, and this might be something you've never really noticed before. You notice being like a good looking guy or standing out everywhere you go, it's kind of a challenge. It's kind of like competition, right? Brazil, it's not that way. The fellas like other masculine dudes and they make friends with you, right? So when they made friends with me and they had these conversations, they said, hey, the number one rule that you want to know here is you never talk to another man's girl. That was the first thing
Heard
they
that.
told me. And I was like, that's a dope rule. And so as I talked to them more, they said, okay, we need to explain the money thing. They want money here, but not the way you're used to. And I go, okay, explain. He goes, see how many homeless people there are in this area? They don't want that. But if you could feed them and keep a home, they'll be loyal and they won't look at no one else. They won't talk to no one else. And I started looking around. All the girls with girlfriends, they never looked at me or no one else. And I was like, yo, that's actually pretty sick. They got bodies. So me, it's like a winning combo, and they got that passion to them. I think so. I just think you have to get with the agenda, and you got to be able to party because I can't even hang out. I can't even hang with these guys. I can't believe how hard they go. But their partying is cultural. It's not to like show off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can see that. Which in the United States, it is to show off.
Yeah.
Essential Entities said peace and blessings to the family. Salute the truth 100%. And he also paired that with a $10 super chat. Thank you very much for your support. So in the world, where is the best place to find a wife, you think?
You know what? I had a Ukrainian girlfriend, and she was perfect. She was perfect. And what I mean is perfect is we had kind of talked online for some years, and I was just kind of checking things out. I was like, let me see what's going on. And then one day she noticed that I would go traveling, and then she said, you never come and see me. And I was traveling with girls, and I thought she'd be jealous, and she wasn't. She's like, I don't care you're traveling with girls. I care that you don't come see me. And that was the first thing that I was like, okay, that's different, right?
It's very
So
different.
then, yeah, and I was like, that's different. So then because she said that, with guys, it's about respect with us. If you get our respect, we're paying attention to you. You know what I mean? And so I was like, damn, I respect that. So then I talked to her a little more and I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that. So she made a deal where she would meet me in Romania and I flew from the States. So my total flight time and layovers is like 14 hours. Well, she took something called Blah Blah Car. Have you heard of that?
No.
Blah Blah Car is like Uber share, but she took a 14-hour blah blah car to get to Romania. So I was like, yo, she really put in some effort. Well, I get there and I messed up my flight. I got to Milan and I went crazy because I found this flight from Milan to Bucharest, Romania for $9 on Ryanair. So I bought it real quick and I bought the wrong month. So when I get there, I had to buy a Lufthansa flight and get there. So she had to wait an extra 8 hours, and she did. So then I get there, we hang out, I hire a car, I do this stuff. We go see Dracula's castle. We went to Pele's castle. We went and saw all this stuff. And I just gave her the money for her to deal with it because I didn't understand the currency. After I went home and I did the math, I was like, I didn't give her enough money. And she never said a word to me about it. And later, bless her heart, her dad passed away. And she called me like crying, and she was now kind of an orphan, but her dad had paid off the house, so she had the house, all this stuff. Anyways, I realized that I did the math one day to try to help her out and say, okay, how's your life going to go? And the amount of money that she covered that she never told me about was a month of her earnings, and she never said one word. Not one word. Come on, bro. I don't know any chicks like that. And that look like that. Like they're gorgeous, And that to me was like I couldn't, but she went a little off the rails after her dad passed away, but I don't blame her. You know what I mean? So I would say that, but that's Eastern Europe. I do think Thailand. I do. You have to filter a little bit, but they're built to support the man. They're built that way. But now Brazil's kind of going up on the list for me. But that's because I like the passion and I like the curves and all that stuff too. What about you? I don't think you've ever said that.
Said what?
What you think the best wifey place is?
I mean, I would agree with you with Brazil. You do have to learn. And I do agree with supporting her for her to be loyal. I would say that I've seen more infidelity in other countries outside of Brazil that's in Latin America. Like in Latin America, it seems like the whole boyfriend shit is a joke. And then
Yeah,
in husband status, it's a little less of a joke, but it's still a joke, you know.
but
But
Brazil's not. But Brazil's not that
Brazil,
way.
it's like that a little in Brazil, from my experience, like a little bit in Brazil,
Hmm.
you know. But it's not. I think you would have better. But again, I've seen a lot in Brazil. I've seen a lot of chicks in Salvador cheat. You know, husbands, boyfriends. You know,
For
they cheat too, but it's not as bad as these other Latin countries I've been to.
so you think Brazil's the top place for wifey?
No, no.
What's the top place for you?
And I really wouldn't even say Eastern Europe. I've only went to two countries over there. But the
Yeah.
chick that I was with in Eastern Europe, I was like, okay, I like her. I'm gonna look into it a little bit. Turns out she had a boyfriend, so didn't
Yeah.
really put a good taste in my mouth when it came to that. But I think worldwide, and you can't really say Africa either. I've seen
Yeah.
a lot. I've seen a lot. The type of lifestyle I live allows me to see this shit.
Yeah, I
And
understand.
even like, I'm not gonna lie to you, maybe outside of Somalia, Eritrea, Djibouti, it seems like being a Muslim is almost like a joke in Africa when it comes to
Oh my,
infidelity.
in Morocco, when you guys were talking about Morocco, I was thinking these guys don't know, man. They have two faces, man. They put on, I literally had a girl come over that wore all of it, right? Second she walked through that door, she wasn't the same person. And the part that is like the men try to safeguard it. So like I didn't know she couldn't come and visit me. She did. I didn't know. The doorman threw a huge fit, right? And she's like, "You cannot come. You cannot go in there. He must come out here." She took him. I went down. I was like, "I don't know what I'm going to do. Should I call the Airbnb host?" She walked around the corner with him for 1 second, came back. He led her up the elevator. I was like, "What'd you do?" She's like, "I tipped him." And I was like, "Jesus, I don't know which one's which there. I don't know which one's true." Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I struggled with there.
So, but I think I've
Which,
seen the least amount of infidelity in places like Vietnam.
yeah.
In Vietnam, the chick I went on a date with, she didn't even give me a kiss. She wanted to go on a second date, but she was very reserved. You could tell that they're very conservative in Vietnam when it comes to relationships. I didn't really see an infidelity issue there. But out of everywhere I've been to in the world, again, I would probably say Vietnam is number one
Are you
to find.
attracted to those girls though?
If we want to talk about Asian, I think Vietnamese and Cambodian the most out of the places I've been to. I haven't been everywhere yet, but when I go, I'll re-answer that again. But
Okay.
I think Vietnamese have probably the best out of the four countries. Over the Philippines, over Cambodia, over Thailand, the four countries I went to, I think Vietnamese probably have the best looking
Okay.
out of the four.
Hey, I'm going to jump off here in like 2 seconds, but there's one thing I wanted to go over and see if you would talk with me about. Everything I hear about how these guys should look and act and be, I feel like there's some truth to it, but I feel like there's a big section that's left out of middle class normal guys. And I think that market, I feel like I'm just a normal guy, but I get huge play. And I think that needs to be addressed so that guys don't feel like they got to be like this Superman or this rich guy or whatever. Because I really wish some guys would come and hang out with me and see how it works. I really think the way you kind of carry yourself, the respect that you show, knowing kind of when to talk and when not to talk and having some conversation skills, I think that's platinum. And I don't think people know that. Do you
That,
agree? Or you just think it's all
I would
superficial?
agree. I would agree.
Because, like, if you talk to my boys back in Scottsdale, they'll say, if Thomas goes over there and talks to that girl, it's game over. And they are like pretty boys. Like, one of the dudes is like an Italian stallion, slicks his hair back, tatted up, yoked, probably sleeps in his sunglasses. Women fall all over him, and he'll tell you that. He's like, if Thomas starts talking to her, it's done. So I think these guys should focus a little bit more on the intelligence of reading her and learning her and be surprised how much they love that.
Okay. I would
You do
agree
well
with
out there. You do well
I
out
would
there.
I would
That's why I
agree.
was saying. Yeah, I think that they have. I'm not saying don't get it together. Even me, I'm going to the gym more now. But I think that that conversation is way up there more than people think. And I think a lot of people don't speak well. I think they don't listen. I know they don't listen. If girls, if you just listen, half the time you don't have to say anything. If you just listen, is like half the battle. I think it's worked for me.
I would agree. Well, I appreciate you calling in, man. I got to get to one more caller and then we're going to end the stream.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Good luck.
All right, bye.